Hello everyone. So this is video 2 or rather part 2 of a very short video series of invoice extraction especially for multi-page invoices using Microsoft AI Builder and Power Apps. So in the part 1 video what we saw was how to build a form processing model in AI Builder, train the model, then quick test the model and finally publish the model for invoices coming from one vendor which could range from 1 to 3 pages. Okay. Now we will have a look at using that AI Builder model inside Power Apps for the user to be able to actually extract the content from the invoice document and view it on the screen in the respective controls. Okay. So for that, what we will do is first things first is log into make.powerapps.com. So I have already logged in and now we will start creating the app. So I'll click on new app here. I'll select Canvas app. Then here at the bottom, as you can see, start with a blank canvas or a template. So you can start from a template or a blank app. I want to start a blank app. And you have two options primarily for Canvas apps, which is the phone layout and tablet layout. So for the demo, I will take a tablet layout. I really like that, especially from the screen state perspective, to be able to design the components on a smaller screen, like a laptop of 14 or 13 inches. So here is the first screen that you get. It's a blank canvas. Now what we will do is we will insert a control which is the AI Builder control. Okay, so if you click on insert here, then click on AI Builder and then click on the form processor control as you can see here. So now it will add a form processor control that we can use to extract the invoices. So this message here is very important. It says that this is a premium component. Anyone using an app containing this component will need an AI Builder license. So it definitely needs to be purchased when you are building apps for your enterprise. I'll click on got it. And we have here different AI models that I have built in the past and recently. So the model that we just saw sometime back in the video, in the part 1 video was demo invoice extraction. I will just select this. And as you can see, this control is here. I will just probably enlarge it a bit. I'll give it a good name, maybe form invoice. Okay. Then as you can see the AI model here inside. So this is the properties pane on the right hand side that you see. And the AI model here has been selected to has been set to demo invoice extraction as we just did. Okay. Now what we will do is we will create a collection to store all the fields from the invoice that are being extracted by this control. So how do we do that? So what I will do is on the on change event here on the property, I will for create a collection. How do we do that is clear collect, give the collection a name. I'll say call invoice, comma. Now it asks for items to be put inside the collection. So the items are going to be the data that's extracted or detected by this form processor control. So that name of the control, form invoice dot results dot, I'll go for line items 1, comma, form invoice dot results dot line items 2, and then we also had line items 3. So same thing, form invoice dot results dot line items 3. Okay, so what we are essentially doing here is we are forming a collection called call invoice. This is the name of the collection, and this is the collection variable which will store the data that has been extracted by this control. And where does this control get the data from? It gets it from your AI Builder model. So as you can see, this invoice, this call invoice collection now will store the results table along with the line items 1 table, line items 2 table, and line items 3 table. So all three tables, it will append one below the other. And in case one table doesn't exist, so for example, let's say you just have a one page invoice, then you will get line items 2 and line items 3 as blank. So there'll be nothing. So all that it will get is line items 1. Similarly, for a two-page invoice, it will get line items 1 and line items 2, but line items 3 will be blank. And for a three-page invoice, all these three tables will be appended and stored inside this collection. Okay, so we've done that. Now, as you can see here, I'll go to File and I'll go to Collections. So what it shows here is it shows the structure of the collection. Now see, description, line total, price, quantity. This is the structure of the collection, but there's no data in here. So what we will do is we will just quickly run this project and we'll click on this Analyze button. I'll select um, any of these invoices for that matter. And now what it will do is it will display the extraction results on this control itself, which is not very visible to the eyes, but still you get a good idea of where it was successful. So as you can see, everything is in blue, which means it has decently successfully managed to extract the data. If anything is in red here, then that means there's a problem. Okay, so I will now close this. So the collection is created. I'll just save the app. I will save it as demo invoice app. I'll replace it. Okay, so it's saving this app now. And you have an option to publish, but the app is not yet ready, so I won't publish it yet. I will just go back. Now we will look at again file collections, and there you see. Now you see there's some data inside these collections, right? So what it is showing is it is just showing the first 5 items as you can see here, and you can just click on this and see. So confidence and page number and it's shown some value of the description and so on, right? So this is not really important at this point of time. Okay, so back to the main screen. Now what we will do is we will insert labels. Okay, how do you do that? Is click on insert and label. I will select this and I will just put the text as vendor name. I will insert one more label. I'll call it invoice number. Then I'll insert one more label. I'll call it invoice date. What else do we want? We also want the invoice total, right, and payment terms. So I'll call this as invoice total. I'll click on insert label again. And this is my payment terms. Okay, I will just save this again. It's always good idea to keep saving your work. and it all gets stored on the cloud because that's what I had selected. You have an option to select save this on your computer as well, right? So these are the primary labels. Now we want the values to be displayed here, and those values will not be editable, okay, for now. So I'll again insert another label control. If you want those values to be editable, you can very well choose a text control here instead. But for now, we'll go with labels. And what will this be now? The value for this will be your form invoice dot form invoice dot fields dot. Now you get the field names here, right? So you select vendor name. Okay. There you see it has now populated the field name already from the collection. I'll insert another label. I will set the text property of this here to again form invoice dot fields dot invoice number. Fantastic. We need one more label. Now for this again form invoice dot fields dot invoice date is what we want now. There you go. Fantastic. So far so good. Two more labels to go here. So form invoice dot fields dot invoice total. Oops. Fantastic. And one more label to go here, which is the payment terms. Form invoice dot fields dot payment terms. I'll just extend this text box. There you go. So as you could see, these are the labels that now really contain the values that have been extracted from the invoice. And how did I do that? Is the text property of these labels, as you can see here. So this is the text property. Okay. And sorry, you also have the text property here as well in the properties pane. Okay. So there's a formula that I've entered, which is the form invoice control, which is our form processor control dot fields dot the actual field name. Okay. So far so good. So we have got the invoice header values. Now I'll just save the project again. Now the last thing that we will do is to get the line items visible. How do you do that? So you go to insert again and click on data table. So I'll click data table here, and then it asks me to select a data source. So in your app, so what is the data source that is available currently in my app? And as you can see, it is the call invoice collection that we just created. So I will select that as a data source. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'll just try to track this data table control, and I will resize a bit. Cool stuff. Okay, so this is the data table control, and we have now selected the call invoice as the data source, as you can see here in the properties pane. But why is it still not showing data? Because the fields need to be set. So this fields properties, as you can see, you click on edit fields here and then click on add field. Now it will show you those fields that exist inside that collection. So description, I will tick mark that, line total, price, and quantity. And I will click on add. Now you can see there is something going on. So it has populated something, but you see the small red crosses, right? So there is something wrong. Let's hover our mouse over that. So what it says is expected text value. What does it say here? Again, the same thing. And it says the same thing for all. Expected text value. So what that means is, let's select this description column now. You can select these columns individually, as you can see here. I'll select the description column, and what you see here in the formula bar, what is the text property set to? It's this item dot description, but it expects a value. So you just have to put a dot and select value. Now there you go. You can see all the description of the line items here. Same thing you do for the line total as well. This item dot line total dot value. Then for price also, this item dot price is already there. All that we have to do is just put a dot and value. And same thing for quantity. Fantastic. Now you can see all the fields have been populated. I will just resize this. Quantity will not be usually a big number, so I am just narrowing the column. Price, line total a bit, and there you go. I will now save this project. So we have almost got everything that we wanted, and since I'm keeping this demo only to show you how the data is extracted, I am only placing these controls, but in a real world use case, you would want to give a save button and a cancel or a clear button. So when you click on the save button, you can actually choose to save the data from that invoice to the main database, which could be possibly a SQL database, it could be something else, some other database within your ERP or CRM systems, or it could even be a SharePoint list that you would want to save to, or an Excel file, and so on. But I am not, including that save functionality here at this point of time. All right, so if we run this project now, this is what it shows from the previous collection. Now, what we will do is we will try another invoice. I will click on this arrow here and I will select, say, test logistics 1. So there you see, it has now reset everything because it has actually cleared the collection. If you remember, in this form processor control, we have used clear collect, which means it will first clear the collection and then collect items inside that collection. And there you see, what you see here is the data is correctly been extracted. So vendor name, invoice number, invoice date, invoice total, payment terms. We will just open that invoice. So test logistics 1 is what we had selected. And let's do a quick comparison. Okay. So vendor name is test logistics. Invoice number is 012345. As you can see here, it's 012345. Invoice date is 2720. Invoice date is 2720. Invoice total is at the bottom here, 27,003.84. That's right here. Then payment terms is payable within 30 days of invoice date. And sorry, that's your payment terms here. Fantastic. And line items is this fresh rainbow, and inclusive value, as you can see, is 25388, which is the line total 25388.55, and collapsible crate here value is 1615, and the price and quantity also are correct. So this is fantastic. Now let's try another invoice. So if you remember, we had used the first 5 invoices to train the model. So let us use other invoices to test this model. So I'll click on logistics 6. Now it will again clear the collection and extract data of logistics 6 invoice. So while that opens up, I will just close this and I will open up this logistics 6 invoice. Okay, so let's see. Fantastic, it's done with its extraction. No reds here. So invoice number 2324, 2324, date is 26 September 2020. Perfect. Invoice total is 17,720.63. There you go, 17,720.63. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line items. And quantities are 18, 1, 1, 18, 2. 18, 1, 1, 18, 2. Fantastic. Price is 732, 606, 685. 732, 606, 685, and so on. Line totals are also matching. So this has again done a fantastic job to extract this invoice, which was not used to train the model. So it's a new invoice for this AI Builder model. Now, similarly, we will look at a two-page invoice. So again, I'm using this two-page invoice, which was not used to train the model. So let's see what results we get. I'll just open that invoice for the comparison. Logistics 7 was the invoice. So as you can see, it has 2 pages. And let's see what we have got here. Okay, fantastic. So definitely we have seen all this is correct. So invoice number 89546, 89546. Total is 13981. At the bottom, total 13981. You see now the total has come on page number 2. Even then it has been able to extract that total correctly. Fantastic. Now let's look at the line items tables. So it starts with fruit mango orange, and what is the last item on page 1? Mini green. We will just scroll here to check if we have mini green. There you go, we have mini green here. The line total for that was 315.11, 315.11, correct. So page 1 has been extracted correctly. Now we will go to page 2, which starts from Basting Lemon Hub, as you can see here, and it goes on to Chep Collapsible Crate and Chep Collapsible Crate. And the last value here for that is 796.95, 796.95. Fantastic. So as you can see, it has extracted data from tables on both the pages of this invoice. Great stuff. Now, last, let's test the results for a 3-page invoice. So I have this invoice 8 for 3 pages. I will just close this 2-page invoice, and now I will open the 3-page invoice. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3 pages. You have tables on all 3 pages. Okay, so here are the results. Invoice number 08642, 08642. Then it's the invoice table starts with refuse bags, refuse bags. Okay. The last row on page 1 is bulk original. Let's search for that. Have we got it? Yes, we have got it, bulk original. Then page 2, the first row in the table is maxi shopper, and we have maxi shopper here. Great. On page 2, we have the last row as skin on potato. I'll just scroll down. Where is skin on potato? Do we get it? Yeah, skin on potato wedges. That's the one. Okay. And now let's go to page 3. It starts with 10 mm. So this is 10 mm, and it ends on collapsible crate, CHEP collapsible. And here you see CHEP collapsible crate. The value is 1014.3, and the value here is 1014.3. Fantastic. So as you can see, this model is now working great on even a 3-page invoice. So that's the beauty of using AI Builder, and you can use the same AI Builder model in your Power Automate flow also. So if you want to do a complete invoice automation without any human intervention, you can use your Power Automate flow, wherein you can configure it to keep checking emails for invoices coming in, download the attached invoice to a particular folder, extract the invoice using the AI builder like we just saw, and put that data into an Excel or into a database directly. So that's it for this video, and thank you. I hope you really enjoyed this video series, a mini series of 2 parts, and I hope you have learned something good out of it. Thank you so much. Take care.